About that time, don't you think? I know, I sure do. Hey, it's been great to be back, though. I just had to miss out on last week's. I had the brain fog hit me really hard. I still don't know if it's necessarily post-COVID brain fog or if, something else going on with me, but, we'll figure that shit out. But I'm feeling a lot better this weekend. It's a great weekend, and I'm glad that you can all be here with me. So, let's go ahead and start things off here, shall we? So I thought that this week maybe I'd start things off with a little PSA. This one coming to you from Merle. Just a heads up, if you find yourself getting repeatedly dogpiled by aggressive people you don't recognize, it's possible you've been added to a harassment list, which is sadly a problem of sorts. I think a lot of people have forgotten about lists, and they really became helpful when they were talking about changing, the way that people's feeds were going to display, and everyone was kind of worried about, losing track of friends and everything, because, they were going to have to deal with verified people getting pushed above, everyone else, and it's going to be hard to keep track of your friends. I know that I got added to a couple lists by friends who just wanted to be able to keep track of people a little easier. And then they kind of walked that back. There is now a verified tab if you go into your Twitter feed, but it's still like defaults to for you, and then there's also following. So I think a lot of people forgot about it, but this is something that a lot of people deal with. And if you scroll down through this feed, if you look this up, you'll see some people have found some lists that they even put on that they didn't realize. But as it says, if you block the person who created the list, it automatically removes you from the list and prevents them from adding you to new list. So just go ahead and do that. If you go over to the list little tab here, right up here, list you're on. And bing, bang, boom. That's how you find out. And now listen, I joke a lot about being on lists. I joke a lot about having an FBI guy. But you don't want a crazy right-winger guy keeping an eye on you, telling all their friends to harass you and yell at you if you post a selfie or talk about queer stuff or just, exist. So, protect yourself. Look out for yourself. Just double check. This poor Bane over here found themselves on 15 different lists. And I cannot imagine how much fucking suffering they had to go through. But I'm glad that they found that out, and hopefully they're going to see a lot less trouble in the future. And if you're seeing a lot of trouble, a lot of harassment, then maybe you want to go ahead and check that out yourself. Because I remember I used to get notifications when I got added to lists. And I've discovered that I am on more lists now. Thankfully, I didn't find any harassment lists, but I did find some really fun lists that I was added to for other VTubers. And if you're one of those people, you're funny. You're charming. I love you. Keep being good beans. So on to a little something from a VTuber friend of mine, Bunny Bonicula. So this is something that I have heard a lot of people talk about over the years. It's something that I've been kind of against. But it seems like people are perhaps warming up just a little bit to the whole advertisements thing. And I kind of expected this to kind of like this to be a post that kind of flounders with a lot of people. And then, well, I'll let the post speak to itself. But first of all, thank you very much, Bonicula, for bringing this to my attention. So, first of all, something that some people brought up that I found out when I read further down through this thread was that people pointed out that, oh, you started running more ads on your channel, on your streams and that, and oh, look, your unique viewers, your minutes watched plummeted. Pomado Master did specify that the first screenshot was from a time when they were at like their peak streaming hours, and now they stream a decent bit less. So if you were thinking of commenting on that, don't. But anyways, it was definitely very, very interesting to see the massive jump in ad dollars and everything. And it seems like a lot of people have just, done things to make it easier to work around ads. I know that mi hermana Dusk, she actually has it integrated into her overlay. So you can see when an ad is approaching in that. And I know Bonnie was actually talking about in her quote retweet that you can just schedule it for like the 3 minute block, which, as it says in the image here, is the minimum amount needed for the ads incentive program. And just schedule for a solid 3 minute block, start of the hour. And that means that just as soon as it gets to the start of the hour, you are ready to say, oh, hey, top of the hour, we're going to take a 3 minute ad break. And then that gives you time to refill water, stretch your legs, adjust your posture. You know you need to adjust your posture. Yes, you. I know you're slouching in your goddamn chair. Stop it. I don't necessarily know if this is really people realizing, oh, hey, ads are actually a good thing, or people are now just realizing that, we have ways to work around it. So while it still sucks that we have to deal with ads, at least we can, establish, systems and ways to make it less intrusive and, more to the point, less impactful on the streamer. I know that I've been to some streams where ads just run and the streamer keeps doing things and whatnot and keeps, playing games, talking about this, that, and the other thing. And it kind of sometimes feels like wow, I'm missing out on so much. But I feel like if we're able to run them in a way that doesn't intrude on the stream experience and that like you take a break to, go to the bathroom, get some water, stuff like that, then maybe it is something that we can work around. But hey, I'll let y'all tell me what you think about it in the comments. I'm gonna let you in on a little bitty secret that you might not know about this goofy little goat. I'm a little bit of a furry, but let's be real here. You already knew this. So it shouldn't surprise you there's a little bit of furry news going on here. So something really hilarious that I found out. There's someone very, very upset that there's a furry in the Air Force and that they really, it just boils down to they are in the Air Force and they are a furry and they consider that a problem. And boy howdy, was it a good time reading through this. This person got dragged mercilessly in the quote retweets, and I am so thrilled for it. But in all seriousness, no hate. This person's already been just absolutely just laughed at and humiliated. There's no reason to drag it out or anything. You know me. I don't really do the whole name and shame thing. I mean, not unless people do some truly morally reprehensible shit. Man, no. So it's illegal for me to put my service cap on my fursuit without insignias? I have done absolutely nothing wrong. Serve my country with pride and have a hobby. Maybe you should get a hobby as well, since you seem to be chronically online. Maybe, possibly. So we're just going to take a quick little scroll through here. And there's been a very helpful bit of context added in the notes talking about some of the generalizations that the OP makes about fairies. And, well, it just goes on and on and on. Tags Department of Defense here. Tags the U.S. Air Force here. It's just, oh my god. It is amazing. Tags U.S. Air Force again. Very, very, very angry. Very angry that people are putting woo and oh whoa, just doodling on things. And my lord, I just wish I knew what this person's issue was. But it just goes on, my dude. It just goes on. They're so upset. They're so upset about furries. They're so upset about furries. And I wish I knew why. In case you didn't know, furries run the internet. Furries develop some of the best technology in the world. It's... You don't understand how much we move the fucking world. You don't understand. You don't even know. We make this whole world go around. We make the tech world go around. We keep your IT shit all in order. You have no idea how dependent you are on us. You can't escape us. But anyways, something that I really couldn't help but to note, with the amount of times that the OP mentions that furry is, a tish and a kink, that including insisting on mentioning it's all about adult fun time. I just couldn't help but note that nobody thinks about kinky furry more than people who hate furries. And you know what? It's true. Trans community and furries must unite over the fact that nobody thinks about the weird kinky adult fun time that we have more than the people who hate us. And foxtrots, by the way. Foxtrots also. Thanks, I guess. And I suppose that brings us to the end of it. That's everything I wanted to talk about this week. Holy crap, we actually made it through this one without having, like, too much insanity or drama. Oh, gosh, it's amazing. It's like my feed is healing. Or maybe it's just that there are less people acting like total fags. Wow, wouldn't that be amazing? Let's hope I can keep some really good, fun, interesting stuff for you next week. But until then, you know the deal. I'll see you next time. And, ta-ta, lovies. Okay, so absolute, like, I noticed this while I was recording the section. And, you might have noticed that in the intro, there was no, trending thing over on the side or any of that jazz. Because I have an extension that's supposed to remove that. And, I don't know why it's here. I don't know why it's back now. I fiddled with the extension in the middle of recording this, and it's just there. It's just there. I don't know why. You want to know something? I fiddled with it again. Now it's gone again. I don't know. I don't know. I originally thought that I was just gonna have to deal with this for like the rest of the video. And I wanted to record this as a funny little, oh hey, maybe you noticed, for the end of the video, and then it started working again. So now I don't know if I want to include this, but I'm probably going to, because I feel like I'm losing my mind. I have to justify sitting here talking to my fucking self about a problem that stopped existing like the moment I mentioned it. I don't know. I don't know.